Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Sahar, and I'm a naturopathic physician. My more important credential is daughter of David Naghibi. I recently moved here from Seattle, Washington, and I relocated my practice. And I have a holistic medical practice in Germantown, Maryland, called Wellness House. So what I want to talk to you today about, since we have a room full of business professionals, and I can relate to you on a personal level, but also I see this all day long with patients, is stress, how we adapt to it. And I want to give you 4 tactical steps you can walk away from today so your energy improves and your sleep quality improves.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. So the most common complaint I see in practice with patients is fatigue. And then the second most common one is anxiety. But those are actually 2 different outputs of the same input, which is stress. And in this country, we have an insane work culture. You go to other parts, you go to Europe, they have like sietes built into their day structure. They're at cafes. We just have a lot of hustle and bustle. We can only adapt to so much until we can't. Part of our problem is we don't actually know what stress is. It's kind of like this nebulous, vague thing. It's almost like an emotion. It's like, hey, Becky, I feel stress today. I feel stress, which is a problem, especially for the men in the crowd, because men are just told to kind of deal with their emotions, kind of buckle up and go through it. But when we view stress as this very vague thing, then we can't actually develop tools to adjust to it. And the problem is, downstream, if you have too much stress for too long, eventually the body will shut down. And then what do you experience? Fatigue, anxiety, issues sleeping, irritability, on edge. That feeling, if you ever feel like I'm super hungry, all of a sudden, like my blood sugar just dropped, that's usually related to stress. So the CDC says that 80% of visits to your primary care doctor are stress-related. 80%. And so if we don't understand stress, then we can never really resolve this problem. So the first thing is, how do we define stress? Stress is anything that demands the body and the mind to adapt. Okay? So show of hands, how many of you guys would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being Energizer Bunny, so much energy, would rate your energy at an 8 or above out of 10? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Still the minority. And how about your sleep? 10 being the most restful sleep, 0 being awful sleep. How many of you would rate your sleep at an 8 out of 10 on most nights? That's still better. But we see it's definitely less than 50%. So long term, if the body's under that chronic stress, you're going to start having problems down the stream. So I'm going to give you 4 tactical steps on how to actually adjust to stress so that you have more energy and you sleep better. But first, you have to understand one thing about your nervous system. And it's not going to be like a neuroscience lecture. It's just very simple. Our nervous system has 2 main modes. It's kind of like a light switch. You have your parasympathetic state, which is your rest and digest. You're chilling, you're relaxing, you're having a picnic. And then you have the second state, which is your sympathetic state, your fight or flight response. That's running from the predator. Bless you. So the body is actually insanely organized. I mean, that is such a cool thing that our ancestors could just be chilling, roaming through a field, and then they saw a white saber-toothed tiger, and without even having to think, the nervous system shoots up cortisol, and it shunts blood away from your organs, your digestive organs. 70% of your blood goes through your digestive organs so you could digest and eat your food and assimilate your nutrients. That blood sugar shunts away from your organs and goes to your limbs so you can run away from that saber-toothed tiger. So intelligently designed. So what's the problem? In the modern day, we don't have that white saber-toothed tiger anymore. What do we have? We have deadlines. We have the kids have to be dropped off at a certain time. We have fights with our spouse. We have the news, seeing all the things of the world everywhere at a moment's notice. So the body is always in that fight or flight state. So that's a problem. And if we can't shut it down, then we're going to have a lot of issues downstream. Again, anxiety, fatigue, problems sleeping, so on. So let's talk about it. I'm going to give you 4 tactics here. And if you implement them starting tomorrow, you're going to see a difference within 2 weeks. Most people start to notice it within 2 to 3 months. I see some people taking notes. I have all of this on a document. Whoever wants, just give me your email. I'll send you this document at the end because I'm going to get into some detail. So the first tactic, the first strategy, I call it earning your coffee. What does that mean? When you wake up in the morning, this is what your normal cortisol curve looks like. You go up and then you go down. Okay? So cortisol is our wake up signal. It's what allows you to get up out of bed and have energy. So if you wake up in the mornings and you're not feeling energized, it's a sign that your morning cortisol is off. So if you have coffee on an empty stomach, what happens is your cortisol curve gets exacerbated. Coffee on an empty stomach will increase your morning cortisol, and then what goes up must come down. It will crash. Then you'll have blood sugar problems, fatigue problems, second half of the day, people who have issues falling asleep, staying asleep. All of that is related to your morning cortisol curve. So what do you do about this? First things first, you eat something, preferably protein, then hydrate, then have your coffee, okay? So eat something, preferably protein, then have your morning coffee. Okay, so that's the first one, earn your coffee. The second one, refill your tank. What does that mean? Where does cortisol even come from? So on the back, this is where your kidneys are. On top of your kidneys, you have a walnut-shaped organ called your adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are what release the cortisol. Now we consider, again, cortisol the stress hormone, but of course it has other roles in the body. It helps us wake up. It deals with our immune system. It helps our blood sugar stability. But the adrenals can only go on for so long. It's a little bit like swiping a credit card. Every time your adrenals release cortisol, you swipe, you swipe, you swipe, and then hopefully none of the business owners here know this feeling. Eventually you max out. And you have to pay back that debt. When you're about to go on a road trip, you can't drive from here to Timbuktu and expect to never refill your gas tank. It's the same thing with your adrenal glands. So you need to replenish the adrenal glands so they create a proper cortisol response so you can feel energized in the morning and have sustained energy. Okay, how do we do this? The adrenal glands need nutrients to replenish themselves, to heal themselves. What are these nutrients? First one is B vitamins. A good B complex will do this job. This is why when people take a B complex, they feel energized. This is why it's healing the adrenal response. Brand matters, dosing matters. Again, I can send that to whoever's interested. Second one, vitamin C. That's another building block the adrenal glands need to make cortisol. And I know we have like a business crowd here. I know some people maybe enjoy a drink. If anyone enjoys a cigar or a cigarette from time to time, the body depletes about 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every time you smoke. So we're one of the only species that doesn't make our own vitamin C, just FYI, so we need to take it through supplement. So it's important for skin, it's important for collagen, but also for the adrenals. So about 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C is important. And the last one, this one's super important. I want to introduce you to a term called an adaptogen. An adaptogen is an herbal supplement that helps heal the adrenals and just promotes a healthy cortisol response. That's all it is. An example of an adaptogen that many of you might have heard is called ashwagandha.
I take it every day.
I take it.
There you go. There you go. We have a holistic crowd. I like this. So again, brand matters, dosing matters. So try not to get things off Amazon, but that's another conversation. Another adaptogen is also called holy basil. So these three things help a lot, significantly, to allow the adrenals to heal themselves and continue on for longer. Okay? So the third one, recovery. What does that mean? A lot of us treat the downstream problem. We're fatigued, we're brain fogged, but the upstream problem is you're not recovering, you're not sleeping well. A lot of us don't sleep well as we should. What should happen, a healthy sleep, is that you fall asleep within 10 to 20 minutes of putting your head down on the pillow, and you stay asleep. If you have any issues in that order, or you wake up around 2 to 3 a.m., that's one of the clinical signs of adrenal dysfunction, your adrenal cortisol system has some issues. So again, you implement the strategies above, but sleep is super important. So what do? Keep the room super dark. Black out curtains if you have to. Second thing, keep the room super cold. 67 degrees Fahrenheit has been researched to be the perfect temperature. Third thing, cut out all of the electronic gadgets in the bedroom. Now there's research to show these gadgets all emit electromagnetic frequencies that disrupt our mitochondria. The mitochondria are the energy factory cells in your body. So get them out of the room. If you can't get them out of the room, power them down. If you can't power them down, put it on airplane mode. Nobody should sleep with their head near a phone. Nobody. Airplane mode every night. So.
I do.
What about a fan?
A fan? Yeah, you could do a fan. Fan's okay.
That's so noisy.
Yeah.
I actually heard something about 15 minutes or half hour before bed, like no electronics.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. What he asked was no electronics before bed. Part of what's happening is every time we're looking at our phones, it's emitting blue light. This blue light suppresses the melatonin that's released from your brain naturally. So you're counteracting that by just not looking at your phone or putting it on night mode. And then the last one, adding in magnesium before bed does wonders. It relaxes the brain and it relaxes the nervous system. So it allows you to sleep and sleep deeply. Okay, so the last strategy, the fourth one. This is what I call train your nervous system. Every single day, what you should try to do is bring your body out of that fight or flight response intentionally into that rest and digest state, into that parasympathetic state. So what are easy strategies all of you can implement? Every single day, 10 minutes of a mindfulness or breath work. Headspace or Insight Timer are amazing applications for this. 2, walks in nature have been shown to downregulate cortisol, upregulate your endorphins, just make you feel at peace. The third one I want to talk about is my favorite one. This is what I call the psychological sigh. The psychological sigh was discovered by physiologists in the 1930s, and it's shown to be one of the fastest ways you can lower your stress instantly. And all you need is 1, 2, or 3 of these sighs. So I'm going to tell you how to do it, and then I'm going to show it to you, and then I want us all to do 5 together. Okay, so what the physiologic sigh is 1 inhale through the nose, and then a shorter second inhale through the nose, followed by a long exhale for the mouth. So I'm going to show it to you, and then I want you to do it with me. It looks like this. Okay, so everybody together, we're going to do 1 long inhale in through the nose, and then a shorter second inhale and long exhale through the mouth. We're going to do 5 of them, okay? And you're going to feel pretty good at that. So, all right, ready? Inhale in through the nose. Inhale in again. And exhale out. Inhale in. Inhale in again. And exhale out. Inhale in, and exhale out. 2 more, stay with me. Inhale in, and exhale out. And last one. Inhale in, and exhale out. Just close your eyes, just give it a moment. Slowly open your eyes. Pay attention to how you feel. This sigh is working on more levels than you might know right now. In your lungs, on your brain, on your nervous system. And there's a lot of tools we can all use, right? We can go have a glass of wine, go to a meditation retreat, go on vacation. But all of those things require us to be offline, money. This you have in your back pocket, available for you at any time. Next time you're stuck in traffic, employ this tool. Next time you have a crazy deadline, next time you're about to give a talk in front of 40 strangers, anytime, it's available to you. So those are the 4 major strategies. If you implement these, your stress response will improve. I do this all day long with patients. It will improve and it will create a strong foundation. Part of what I love to do with patients is to help them feel better so that they can go do what they're meant to do in the world. And if you love what you do, you want to be able to do it for a long time. But you can only override your biology for so long before it catches up. So take care of your nervous system, take care of your stress. Implementing it now will save you a lot of money and a lot of stress down the line. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Aladdin. Appreciate it.
Thank you.